Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. A while back, Scout Crafter mentioned keeping tools in buckets. Well, he's not the only one. I did find this bucket at the Restore. Now the other bucket ended up costing me about $4 by the time I bought the cap and the barrel itself, or the bucket itself. This one was $2. It's got some dust on it. But the inside's completely clean. Nothing in it. Well, take that back. There's no dirt. I did find this. This is a chipping tool for welding, and it comes with a wire brush that you can change out, but I think that's going to take more than just my fingers to do. So I think I'd have to take a standard wire brush and cut it down to fit into the handle on this chipping hammer, but it's an old chipping hammer. It's in really good shape. Cost me $5. Came with the brush. I didn't have to make a brush to go in there. Yep. It's got a good strong spring in it. That's going to be handy. Chip it, wire brush it. Nice thing to have on hand. Now this is a push stick. Wasn't marked, but they said 50 cents. I said okay, fine. Push sticks are something that kind of a throwaway item because you're supposed to be able to run this into the blade without having any problems to you. So this one's got a nick in it. One there and one there, but nothing serious. A Weiss. I've heard it pronounced all those ways, but another one of these. You remember I had this yellow one that I picked up earlier. Oh, there was a red one in another box. The difference between them is this one is straight and this one is inclined. This one, as you're cutting, the steel or material goes on either side of the blade and you end up with your hand in the middle of it. This one is inclined, so as you're cutting, the material passes beneath your fingers. This is probably something that Tractor Man 44 knows a lot better than I do. Then there's this thing. This is a chain breaker. This is for big chain too. It's not for your standard bicycle chain. It might do bicycle chain, but I think the ram is a little bit too large for bicycle chain. These two links are number 50 chain, and I think this probably would work pretty good for number 50 chain. My Harley had number 50 chain on it, if I recall correctly. But you clip this over the link. In this case, you'd clip it on both sides of the link, and then you would run the ram down and it pushes this pin out and breaks the link. I have this smaller one already, and it has been useful in breaking chainsaw chains and bicycle chains. So now I have two. And that's what was in the bucket. At the same restore, I found this thing. And it cost $1. Now this is a gimmick tool. Made in Taiwan. Taiwan is considered to be a little better than China. Taiwan has a little better process control. This is called a claw cinch lock adjustable wrench. Now why would you want something like this? Let's say you're working on your vehicle and you've got the typical garage set of tools. Now this isn't the full set. The full set are out in the garage and wrapped up and in nice condition, but these are the tools that every handyman would have, you know. Standard 3/8, 7/16, ½ inch, 9/16, 5/8, 3/4, 11/16, 25/32, 13/16, 15/16, and 1 inch. Now, everything's working along pretty good. You've got a 3/8 bolt. You grab your 9/16 wrench and you tighten it up or loosen it up, whichever you have to do. And that seems to work just fine. Well, then you run across this 3/8 bolt that the 9/16 doesn't work on. Well, that's okay. You pick up the ½ inch. Yep, it'll drive it. It's a 3/8 bolt with a ½ inch head. You run into it every once in a while. This one's out of a lawnmower. So we're still doing okay. Then we got a 5/16 bolt. It has a ½ inch head too. Yeah, we're still good. Then we run across the 5/16 bolt that the ½ inch head is not there. This is a ½ inch wrench, 5/16 bolt, rattles. Well, maybe it's a 7/16. You know, when we had the when we had the 3/8 and we went down one size on the wrench and it worked just fine. Nope, it's too big for a 7/16. Well, it could be a metric, or it could just be an odd duck size. If you got one of these what's-it wrenches, you can clamp onto it and drive it home. Works okay. Actually grabs a hold of it and lets you grab right onto it and use it. Not exactly the best method of using a wrench, but you know, it's got its use. And if you run across one of these really odd ducks, like an 8.8, yeah, it'll fit it too. Even if the nut's a different size, which in this case it is, it'll fit on there, hold on pretty well. Now, you could use a crescent wrench. Yeah, it fits. This is actually a channel lock. They got the name Crescent wrenches because Crescent was making a very popular brand of adjustable wrench, and everybody had a Crescent wrench there for a while. They were doing big advertising, so they kind of got stuck with the name Crescent wrench, kind of like Kleenex. And this will work right on up to the big ones. And so will this one. Nope, not quite. So this is of limited use compared to a crescent wrench. It is smaller. You can get the head of this thing into a smaller spot than you can this one. And this one catches a hold of the corners. Adjustable wrenches are called nut rounders for a reason. This is an unknown quantity as far as being a nut rounder. I think because of the way it grips a hold of the bolt, you got a better chance with it. But that's a type of wrench. The claw cinch lock adjustable wrench. Another tool for your toolbox. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one. It's okay for what it is. In some ways it's better than an adjustable wrench because of the head size and the way it grips the bolt. I prefer having a standard size wrench designed to fit it, because when you look at it, if head size is an issue, this is obviously a better choice. But if you're only going to have one wrench in your toolbox and you're going to be driving around the country road, check your vehicle, see if this is big enough to handle everything. And if it's not, then you're going to be stuck with a crescent. If you're only going to have one wrench in your toolkit and you're going to be driving around country roads where you could have a problem and nobody would be around to help you, check and see if this will fit every bolt, nut, and screw in your car. And then check one of these adjustable wrenches for the same thing. You might find yourself with an adjustable wrench or one of these. But for a buck, I thought it was worth talking about. Might not be the best wrench in the world, but like I say, for a buck it was worth talking about.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.